Hey everyone! I know a lot of you are probably sitting in front of your computer right now thinking, oh my god, what in the world is this video even gonna be about with all of these planners that I see? Well, I had a few people on Instagram and Facebook message me their ideas for the Planner 101 series that I'm doing, and which is just basically a chit chat about information that I wish I would have known when I started planning. Now, just to get started, saying that planning is extremely personal. No one on YouTube, including myself, or no one on Facebook and all of the groups or forums can tell you how you need to plan. You just need to sit down and figure out what planner may work for you, and always know that there are Facebook buy-sell trade groups where if you buy a planner and it doesn't work for you, you can sell it to someone and give that planner a great home. Every transaction I've ever had in one of the buy-sell trade groups, either if I'm selling a traveler's notebook or if I'm selling a actual planner, has been phenomenal. So I would definitely suggest, if you're new to planning, to find some of the buy-sell trade groups on Facebook and get involved and start there. You can always buy, I know in the traveler notebook world, you can always find traveler's notebooks secondhand, just in case, you don't want to spend the money at, say Chic Sparrow. There's a Chic Sparrow buy-sell trade and you can find them in there cheaper. So if you want to know what today's video is all about and why I have this huge stack of planners, then let's get started. Okay, so a lot of you have probably seen my Traveler's Notebook collection video, and I have a lot of Traveler's Notebooks. A bulk of them are just multiples in the same size, like personal size. I know that personal size is my absolute favorite size right now, so I bought quite a few planners in that size, just in different leathers, different colors, different companies, because I know that's what I like. Now, it took a while for me to actually find my planner size and what type of planner that I liked. So when you're talking planner sizes, which is what we're going to be talking about today, planner sizes, they're not even standardized. So, there's different ones. There's an A5 size planner. There's A4, I believe. I don't really know much about A4. I'm going to talk really a majority about the sizes that I own, because I want to be able to show you the differences between the two. And as far as types, there's spiral bound, ring bound, but there's A5, then you have like your standard size Midori. You have, or the Midori size, which is standard size. It's also known as narrow in some of the groups or brands. It's a number 7, I think, at Foxy Fix, 6 or 7. Then you have your personal size. You have pocket, B6 Slim, wide, I think I said already, A5 in traveler's notebooks, and you have passport size, nano, micro. Then you have at Foxy Fix a whole list of numbers, 0 through I think 9 is the largest that they have. So really, when you're talking planner sizes, you need to talk dimensions and the actual sizes of each insert that go into the notebook. I'm not even going to talk dimensions today, because dimensions is something that is brand specific. So the first thing I would do is I would find a brand that you like. Let's say if we're talking Traveler's Notebooks, find Chic Sparrow, or find Foxy Fix, or Speckled Fawn, or there's a plethora on Etsy of shops. Find the Traveler's Notebook brand that you like, that you are interested in purchasing, and then find their dimensions for the inserts. And from there, I would suggest taking a piece of paper, folding it in half, cutting it to the actual dimensions that the website says, and see how you like that insert. And just know that it's going to be a little larger. Same with the ring bound planners. Find a brand that you like. Recollections from Michaels, Filofax, Foxy Fix has rings now. Webster's Pages. I'm not a huge, there's Heidi Swap. I have one of hers. I don't have a ton of rings, so, you know, just search ring bound planners. I know the ones at Michael's. I know there's Filofax. I know there's Vanderspec. There's the new Foxy Fix, Heidi Swap, Webster's Pages. That's the only ones I can come up with off the top of my head. But if you are in rings, or if you're in Traveler's Notebooks, it's two totally different measurements. I know, and it's horrible to even try and explain these, but we're going to try today. So I'm going to start off with maybe the spiral and ring bound, and then work our way up to the Traveler's Notebooks. So I'm going to pull out a few, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so let's start with the Erin Condren. The Erin Condren is a spiraled bound planner. You also have, in the same size, you have a Happy Planner, and it is a disc bound system. This is just a case that I ordered from Damami's Cases. I'm going to show it to you just because it was on the planner, but I'm going to move it. I like this because it covers your Erin Condren, keeps it safe, but it also lets you be able to carry cards and, you know, things with it. So I'm going to move this. So the Erin Condren and the Happy Planner are both the same size, and they are roughly the same size as an A5 like ring bound planner. If you take out the coil, cut your pages at the coil, and punch it, you can fit an Erin Condren in some paper, like ring bound paper planners. So I would definitely YouTube a video on that. I know I watched them because I was gonna take the coil out of mine, but I never did. So the A5 planner for, let's flip to a month. So you have your monthly view, and it's a month on 2 pages. And I know a lot of you have probably already seen an Erin Condren, but just so you get an idea, this is a week that I had, let's see, let's move to a month that I didn't. I had already planned in this week. So this is a month that is blank, and then you have the weekly layout. It is a weekly view, so you have, you know, a note spot up here for thankful thought, a menu here, or a sidebar here is what it's called. Then you have your vertical planning weekly here, and then you have the 3 boxes that you can use for literally anything you want. You can have morning, noon, and night. You can have let's see, what did I use mine for? You can have literally anything you want. I used to have my morning things here, my afternoon things here, and then I would do the to-dos or the little things down here. And then on the weekends, I would have like the middle box would be for the today, like where do we eat lunch, what do we do? The up would be the mornings. And then I would have, you know, family time or relax, things like that. And that continued. That was pretty much Sometimes I would put like my little things up at the top, like my morning things that I wanted to do, and then the today in the middle, like what we had for dinner if I worked that day, and then the to-do things at the bottom. And then at the very, very bottom, I would have the, like my steps, miles, heart rate, stuff like that. I need to print those out again. I'm glad I'm filming this. I need to print those out again. That would look great in my, my planner now. So that's pretty much over here on this sidebar. I was using this for orders, a quote, and then my quiet time checklist was pretty much what I was keeping up with there. So this is an A5 and it is a really large size. This makes a great desk planner. I also know some girls that actually and guys too, that actually take these with them everywhere. They make great shop planners, great just everyday planners, but I needed a daily. This was just too big for me to continue to carry around. It was really big, really heavy, and I got tired of carrying it. So along the same lines, let's stay with the same lines as far as size. I'm going to move this out. I'm going to show you exactly how companies are making things different in the same size. So you really have to go by measurements. So this is an A5 size Webster's Crush, Color Crush, Webster's Pages ring bound planner. And these are the Webster's inserts. They're really nice. I really like them. And it's just not working for me right now. But during maybe the summer when I need more space, I'm going to be using this. But I haven't decided yet. Anyway, this is an A5 size planner. This is also an A5 size planner. You can't really see, but I have these lined up at the bottom. This one, the pink one, is from Michael's. It's the Recollections binder. And they are lined up at the bottom, and it is still about 1/2 inch to 1 inch shorter. Also, if you look lined up width-wise, Michael's stands out a bit. It's not much, maybe about 1/4 inch, but the actual binder is bigger. But the inserts are the same size. This is one of the insert kits from there. Really bright, really pretty. And this would actually go perfect with the Cocoa Daisy kit for June. But hey, we're not going to use it, Jessica. You're not going to use it. You're not going to use it. I just have to keep telling myself that. I love flamingos and I love bright things. So these are both A5 size binders, but they're two totally different sizes. But the inserts are the same. So from here, let me show you an A5 size Traveler's Notebook. The A5 size Traveler's Notebook, way smaller by about 1 inch from the actual Recollections notebook. Shorter, definitely. And if you line it up spine to spine, it's slimmer than the Webster's Pages, I mean, and it's shorter. But if we take out, let's do this. Let's take out this insert. Let's take out a Recollections page. Oh, look at that. And let's take out a page from Webster's. And you will see the pages from the Recollection and from the Recollections planner and from the Webster's Pages planner. Holes line up perfect. Page is exactly the same. Same size, everything. So all A5, most, not all, but most A5 size planner inserts will fit in either a Recollections planner or a Webster's Pages planner. I can say that because I have these two. Now, both of them, let's do it this way. You have to account for the hole ring punches and also the fact that I made this book at my house. I made it at home, but it's only a tiny bit, a tiny bit, not even a 1/4 of an inch slimmer than my A5 Traveler's Notebook. The reason my A5 Traveler's Notebook is so much slimmer is because there's no rings to account for. So an A5 size in a notebook or in a Traveler's Notebook, rings or notebook, should be a half page, so an 8.5 by 11 sheet of letter size paper folded in half. That is an A5 size. So this just shows you how no matter if it's a Traveler's Notebook or rings, the insert is what you go by because the actual binder isn't going to be the same. And I maybe should look up before I tell you that this is definitely not an A5 size. But everybody seems to kind of call an Erin Condren an A5, or maybe that's just me and like my friends. So I would definitely check your dimensions if you're wanting this notebook from Erin Condren the Life Planner, because it is a little bigger than A5, okay? So I just want to let you know that it's a little bigger than A5. So from A5 size, let me clear this out, put these binders up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I've got all of that cleaned up, I'm gonna kind of use the A5 Traveler's Notebook as kind of the A5 size, because really this is closer to the insert size, because if you look, the inserts go almost all the way to the edge. So this is a more genuine representation of what an A5 size really is, only because it's closer to the size. You don't have to account for the rings or the space that you're going to need for rings or a pin loop as you would with a ring bound planner. So from A5, then you go, there is a size called extra wide. You can probably find them on a buy sell trade, but they're getting harder and harder. It is a Chic Sparrow, I believe, exclusive. I've only seen Chic Sparrow do extra wide. And extra wide is only a little smaller. We're talking maybe a 1/4 of an inch more narrow than an A5. I just wanted to show you this size in case you saw it on a board and you were a little confused. If you don't want to use a ton of the A5 size inserts, then you could probably get away with an extra wide if you only wanted to use 1 or 2 inserts. From A5 in Traveler's Notebooks, you go to a wide, and it is about an inch to an inch and a half, or I'm sorry, a half an inch to an inch more narrow, and they're the same height. But just like with the A5 inserts I told you, measure You're going to want to measure your inserts. May design books will fit in a wide, but some other books will not. Some inserts sold at Michael's will fit in a wide. Some will have to have the A5 size. So measure your notebook, measure your inserts, and decide, will my inserts fit? I know Chic Sparrow and Foxy Fix, those are the two companies that I have purchased from, other than Planner V, and she only does 2 sizes, maybe 3 I think now. But as far as mass-produced notebooks like the Chic Sparrow, they put in what size inserts can fit in a notebook. They give you the dimensions of the notebook, and then they tell you what size inserts will fit. So I would suggest going by what the website says the dimensions are. And I know you're going to hear me say that a lot, but I just want to make sure you understand it's the size of the insert, it's the size of the page, not necessarily the size of the binder. So this is a wide, like I said, May design books will fit in here. It's a little more narrow, but it is the same height, okay? So from here, there is a size, I think maybe it's the B6 size that's the same width as a wide or an A5. It's just shorter. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those. What I do have, the next size down in Traveler's Notebooks from an A5. So if you don't want an A5 size planner, this is a B6 Slim. It is way more short. Narrow. I would say at least 1.5 inches. And it is a lot shorter, about 1 inch. And this size is closer to the actual, they call it standard size or narrow size, is actually what this size is. It's just not as tall. Normally a regular narrow or standard size is as tall as the A5. So that is the next size down. From there, you have this is, I want to say, closer to a standard size insert, but it's a lot more narrow. It's about the same height as a narrow insert, but it's not as wide. The actual insert isn't as wide as a size narrow or size standard. So, these are taller than like personal size inserts, but they're not as wide. Just thought I would show this one to you since I do have it. This is one of the zip-up planners from the Recollection collection at Michael's. Okay, now to the more known size, which is personal. In ring size bound planners, I have only ever seen 3. Now there might be more, but my knowledge, there's 3 sizes to the ring bound planners. There's an A5 size ring bound, and there's a personal size, and then there's a pocket size, which is way small compared to the personal and the A5. So the personal size, this is one from Michael's. I did purchase it myself in hopes to use it, and I haven't. I really want to use ring bound planners, but we all know that struggle is real and they just don't work for me. So this is the Recollections planner. The inserts are here. I haven't even used it yet. I should really probably take it back, but we all know I'm not going to. So this personal size will fit personal size inserts, just like with the A5 notebooks. This is a Heidi swap, and it is also a personal. I'm gonna try, if you line it up at the bottom here, yeah, so they're lined up here. The stitching actually won't line up, but physically they're lined up at the bottom. And they're about the same height. Heidi Swap seems to be a little smidgen taller. Not much. But maybe, there we go. It is just, it was that loop right there was giving me a problem. But it is just a tiny bit taller, not very much, just a teensy tiny bit. But they are actually the same width. So, the inserts in the Heidi Swap, same size, should be. Let's open it up and see. So I haven't actually taken these inserts out. So I'm just going to take the whole pack. And actually the Heidi Swap inserts are the same width, but not the same height. If you can see, they're a little bit taller. So now your inserts will not fit in the Heidi Swap planner because of how they're punched. But you could probably make it work. You could line up, you know, 2 of the holes. But here's your problem. Your inserts are either going to be all the way down at the bottom or they're going to be all the way up at the top. So where your inserts punch is also a really important thing. It's not, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's just personal preference. Like, as you can see, the Recollection and most ring bound planners have 3 punches. This Heidi Swap planner has 2. On the same size as personal, I'm going to put that over there. I have these 2 personal size. These are both Traveler's Notebooks. This is a Chic Sparrow personal size, and this is a Foxy Fix number 4, which is their personal size. And if you look, the Foxy Fix is taller and just a little, if I can get it here where you guys can see it, it's just a little wider also. If you want to do measurements, a number 4 Foxy Fix is not as wide as a B6 Slim, but it's almost as tall as a B6 Slim. And if you're looking at B6 Slim compared to a Chic Sparrow B6 Slim, B6 Slim is about a 1/2 inch to 1/4 of an inch taller and about an inch or a 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch wider. Just trying to give you guys as many size comparisons as we can. So, looking here at a Chic Sparrow personal, I mean, let me take out this pen so you guys can see, because that pen loop jets out there with that pen. So you can see quite a bit smaller, and it's because a Traveler's Notebook has no rings to account for. It has no loop snap closure to account for. It's just a really slim design. So it's quite a bit shorter by about a 1/2 inch, maybe 1/4 inch, but extremely more narrow. But when you open up and you're looking at inserts, well, it doesn't want to stay open. But when you're looking at inserts, they're the same width and height as the inserts that are in your Recollections personal size planner. I know they're going to be a little bit shorter, not much, but the same width as the Heidi Swap. I mean, and all that is going to mean is that when if you're printing like the DIY fish inserts, it's just going to overall be a little shorter in your planner. Not that big of a deal. But DIY fish personal size inserts would fit perfectly in the ring bound planner. Let me pop this back in here. Also, if we're looking at personal size, the Foxy Fix is about the same height as a Recollections planner, but it's still definitely more narrow. And that is literally only because of the rings. Like if you put the planners here, you'll see from edge to edge, it's mostly the rings is why the ring bound planners are so much bigger, which is completely fine. Like I said, it's all personal preference. So going down in size, the next shortest notebook that I have is this A6. It is definitely shorter than a personal size, and it is just a tiny bit more narrow. It's hard to see on camera, but it is just a tiny bit, a tiny bit more narrow. A6 is definitely a little wider, but the height wise, it's perfect. And the inserts here are definitely smaller, shorter, and about the same width, but definitely shorter than personal size inserts. And the next size down that I own is, well, that I have in my collection. I'm borrowing this from a friend to see if I want to purchase it. This is a pocket size from Chic Sparrow, and you can see that it is definitely a quite difference in width. Height is a little smaller. Let me put this string back on, but if you're looking at personal size, personal and pocket are the same width, but a pocket is definitely about an inch shorter. Now from here you do have the pocket size ring bound planners. I personally don't have one. If I would have planned this video out, I could have borrowed one from my friend Jamie. She has a pocket size Malden from Filofax, but you're looking at probably another inch width wise. Height maybe a teensy bit taller, but you're looking at definitely about another inch width wise, because you need to account for those rings. But this is actually the size of the insert. I am going to be testing this out in June because I don't have a ton of stuff going on during the summer, just some you know, regular old stuff going on. But I'm going to try and not do quite as much during the summer and enjoy friends and family more. So this is just an idea of what a pocket size looks like. So from here you have the passport size, which is a little smaller. You can even go down to a nano. Oh, you know, let me grab my number 0 from Foxy Fix. Okay, because this has my extra store cards in it, I always forget that I have this. But this is a number 0, and it is a wide from Foxy Fix. And it's the same width as a Chic Sparrow pocket size. If you can see that, it's the same width. Actually, this would be easier to see. The leather is the same width But you can't go by the inserts because, like I said, this is just credit cards in here, and it is a wide size. But the height, there is another one in between here for the passport size. I would say it comes about right here, so it's about the half of the difference in these notebooks. So maybe about like right here. It's literally the size of a passport. So if you have a passport, there you go. But the zero or the micro is almost half the size of a pocket. I mean, it's just crazy how small these little traveler's notebooks can get. But I just wanted to give you guys just a short kind of explanation of sizes. I know I don't have every single size of planner, but what I would suggest is if you want to get into ring bound planners, Joann's has the Webster's Pages line, and Michael's has a Recollections brand line of ring bound planners. And you can go and you can actually physically put your hands on a personal size. You can put your hands on a A5 size bound ring bound planner, so you can get an idea of what the inserts look like. I think those are great starter ring planners. They're just, I mean, they're just as good as any other brand. I know that like Vanderspec and Filofax, they have the better rings, but hey, you can also go to Staples and check out some of their ring bound Filofax line as well. You can also go to Joann's and Michael's and pick up a traveler's notebook. The Joann's has the Webster's Pages, and I'm going to say it's in most Joann's. They're starting to get them in more. I know my Joann's has it. So if you go to Joann's and they don't have their planner stuff out yet, don't like kill them or anything and say, well, Jessica said. It's fine. You can always check out Michael's. They also just come out with a tropical collection of traveler's notebooks. Are they my favorite? No. I do like the Webster's Pages. They are a type of leather. I don't really think they're the best, but I'm a leather type person. I really want a leather traveler's notebook, and a Chic Sparrow is my favorite. But if you want to get an idea of what a traveler's notebook is, go check out the Michael's ones or the ones from Joann's. They are a standard or narrow size notebook, so you can kind of get an idea of how that will be. From there, I would just say if you're wanting to purchase online, the best thing to do is, like I said earlier in the video, find the dimensions of the insert that you want. And you know, if you're going with personal, take a sheet of paper, fold it in half, and test out if that size will work for you. Take a few pages and sketch out a daily or weekly layout, or purchase an Annie Plans printable in that size. Put the insert together, use it, and see if you even like it. You can toss it in your purse and see if you can even use that size traveler's notebook. If you have any questions about any of the specific planners that I used, let me know. If you want me to go more in detail on more specific sizes, let me know that as well. If I don't have it, I will try and get my hands on it, either borrow one or purchase one if I need to. So yeah, I think that's it. I feel kind of chatty today. I feel like this video went way longer than it should have. But then I feel like I didn't give as much information as I could have either. So, like I said, questions, let me know. Let me know how you liked the video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did. And subscribe and all that jazz. And I will see you in my next video. Happy planning, guys. Bye.